the semi-final match for the boys and girls team event. Let me introduce to you the teams bowling in this semi-final match. Let's start with the girls. The top seed, bowling on lane 31, Japan, Mirai Ishimoto, Mana Yoshida, Shion Isomine, and Kana Shimoide. Their opponents, bowling on lane 32, Finland, Elisa Holkinen, Rusa London, Jonna Jokinen, and Sana Pasanen. Second semi-final match, bowling on lane 34, USA, Mary Wells, Stephanie Schwartz, Sarah Hopper, and Liz Hulkin. And their opponent, bowling on lane 33, Sweden, Ida Anderson, Annie Torell, Kaisa Wegner, and Jenny Wegner. Boys semi-finalists, the top seed, bowling on lane 20, USA, Matthew Farber, Gregory Young, Cameron Doyle, and Wesley Lowe. Their opponent, bowling on lane 19, Japan, Tetsuya Chiba, Yuhi Shinbata, Takuya Miyazawa, and Kenta Yoshida. The second semi-final match, bowling on lane 18, Malaysia, Mohamed Rafiq Ismail, Timothy Tan, Jonathan Ding, Ahmad Muaz Bishor. And their opponent, bowling on lane 17, England, Curtis Hooper, Matthew Clayton, Christopher Lamb, and Elliot Crosby. These are the bowlers bowling for the semifinals for the team event. Thank you, bowlers.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 2014 World Youth Championships here at the South China Athletic Association Bowling Center here in Hong Kong. We've got the girls team semifinals happening right now. On our left-hand pair, we have Japan and Finland. And on the right, Sweden and USA. So it's going to be a great semifinals. Of course, the winners then will meet for the gold medal on one pair to the left. So this is Matt Canizar, and we're live here. And I'm beside Neil Stremble, Managing Director of National Governing Body for USBC, in town to take in this fantastic event. hosted by the Hong Kong 10-Pin Bowling Congress. Neil, how are you today?
Yes, Matt, thank you very much. I'm doing well. Yeah, I just happened to be in town to catch this match. Now, of course, I came here to root on all the teams, USA in particular in my case, but so many friends and family out here that really we're rooting on everybody and hope everybody does well and that the best bowlers win. Mary Wells has opened up with a 10-pin and she missed it to the left. I've seen a few too many of those this week.
We definitely saw some spare shooting blunders along the way, but here we are. All pins are gone, and it's a battle for the title. The world champions in 2012, Junior Team USA, boys and girls. So the defending champions all still alive here in 2014. And the higher seeds in each case here had the choice of lane condition for the semifinals. We bowled on two patterns this week, a short 35-foot Beijing pattern and a 45-foot Mexico City. And Team USA, as the higher seed over Sweden, picked the short pattern. And on our left-hand lane, Japan selected the long pattern against Finland.
Yes, the short pattern, Beijing, is usually a pretty high-scoring pattern. However, the topography here across the whole house on the short pattern is a little touchy for the short, and yeah, it's got some extra hang out there. I think it's also why we're seeing there's a big crown, so I think that's why we're seeing some missed 10 pins, because when it gets to that portion of the lane, it's quite crowned and it actually goes downhill towards the pins. So that's kind of the uniqueness we're seeing with topography this week. And I guess I'm still not surprised to see Kim Terrell-Kearney, coach for Team USA, pick the short, because the women bowled very well today on the short and put up some good numbers.
Well, all teams bowled 3 games on the long yesterday and came back today with 3 more on the short pattern. And when it was all said and done, going into the last game, USA was on top of the standings. Japan had a huge finish, shot 906, and catapulted from out of the show basically
to first.
For the number 1 seed, USA held on to number 2. Barely, yes, 1 pin ahead of Sweden. And then Finland struggled in the last game, but held on to that number 4 spot. And here we are. Winners here advance to the championship match. Losers share the bronze medals.
Yeah, we're seeing some nerves here. You know, this is the medal. This is semifinals. You know, for a medal here. If you win this, you get to go to the gold medal match. So, you know, this is the World Youth Championships. We see a lot of younger players that have not had quite the experience as regular Team USA. So we have some nerves. We've had some tough shots already, some missed single pins, and we'll see how that changes throughout the match.
Well, for the USA, all 8 players here this week are first-timers at the World Youth Championships. And at the other end of the spectrum, for Japan, they've appeared in every medal round so far, singles, doubles, and now the team event, led by Cheyenne Izamune, who took home the silver in singles, and then silver in doubles. And her teammate Shimode has been there as well, bronze in singles, and they teamed up for doubles, and they've been steady all week and looking to break through here. So we'll see. Number 1 seed, and Finland.
This is another 10 pin, and dropped off to the right at the very end, which we've seen just a little too often. I'm not saying it's happened in every frame, but it's surprising how often I've seen it in the short time that I've been here already.
Well, it's been a long week, and I spent a lot of time on these 2 patterns, from official practice to the Beijing in singles and Mexico City in doubles. And then, of course, again, 3 games on each for the team event. So a lot of homework being done, and really just careless mistakes at this point. But so far, Sweden out to an early lead over Team USA. And Japan clean through one frame. And jumping out early against Finland with 2 opens.
Yeah, the two patterns are distinctly different in my mind. Like I said earlier, Beijing is typically a little higher scoring, and we're not quite seeing that on the girls' side, just topography-wise, like I said earlier. But Mexico City, 45 feet, one of the toughest patterns out there in the whole list of WTBA patterns. I consider it to be the toughest pattern of all 12, and but that's what Japan decided to go with. I think they felt more comfortable with that. There's a couple different ways you can attack this pattern, and you can attack it still from pretty far to the right or a little bit more in the middle of the lane. So you got a couple different options depending on your style, your speed, your rev rate.
We definitely saw that in doubles on the long. Most players, especially on the boys' side, were relatively deep. Some lofting the left gutter even. Oh. And then we saw when we got to the semifinals, Izumune was playing off the right corner and doing very well. So certainly attackable from different angles, and you go in your comfort zone. You go with what works. And the girls generally aren't going to be the big wheelers anyway.
Yeah, and as long as, like you said, point it from the corner. That means you're not going straight up the lane. And on the short, you kind of got to go straight up the lane near the gutter. And there's some unique hang going on out there that I've seen, and adds to some inconsistency from pair to pair, lane to lane, and can make it a little squirrely. Whereas on the long, even though you're maybe setting it down near the same spot, you're pointing it more, so you're not trying to go up the lane quite so much, and so that topography quickly comes out of the picture.
And here's Izumune. It's pretty far right.
Yeah, it's pretty far right for a 45-foot pattern.
That one got back, and Japan still clean through 2 frames.
Yep, they have a double and chance at another one. Whereas Finland has 3 opens, so it's easily about a 40-pin lead right now for them, for Japan. Team USA just got their 3rd open, whereas Sweden has 1, so there's a good 20-pin lead, and it looks like about 23-pin lead for Sweden right now. Early in the match, this is the World Youth are 4-person teams, so they bowl singles, doubles, and team, whereas the adults bowl singles, doubles, trios, and team. This allows for every youth to participate fully in every event, obviously in singles, but then there's 2 doubles teams and 1 team, and everybody gets to compete. All their scores count. Whereas with the adults, when you have team, it's a 5-person team, and typically you bring 6 people, and so 1 person sits out.
Well, we had 46 countries represented this week in Hong Kong, 262 players, the best youth bowlers in the world, representing their countries here, and certainly more than just bowling, a lifetime experience, once in a lifetime for many, to come out and just enjoy a new culture and making friends out here. But right now, the semifinals of the girls' team event, it's not about making friends.
Yeah, they're not trying to make friends right about now. You mentioned that for Team USA, they're all first-timers, and obviously the U.S. is a large country. This is the first time most of them have even been out of the country. You get to Sweden and Finland, all throughout Europe. They travel amongst the countries a lot more often, so they feel a little more comfortable with that travel. Same in Japan, all the islands throughout Asia, they travel for the Asian Games, Southeast Asian Games, etc., and that's part of what they do. And I would just say a little more used to travel outside of their own country.
Well, see, part of what Japan is doing right now is building quite a lead. 3 in a row as a team right now. And if Finland doesn't get something going here soon, it's going to be over barely before it even starts.
Yeah, Finland's sitting on 4 opens thus far out of the 11 frames that they've bowled, whereas Japan has no opens and 3 doubles. So that's a 70-point swing already. Shows 60 up on the scoreboard.
Well, I think Japan very disciplined and very motivated after coming up short in singles and doubles. Very emotional after the doubles match and coming back the next day and bowling very well, and of course earning the top seed here for the team event. And if you ask most of the teams, I think the big one that they're here for is the team event. Everything else is I don't want to say insignificant, but maybe a little bit less significant as far as the value.
Yeah, everything else is just gravy. You know, from a Team USA standpoint, I know that the team event is always the big one. It's what we focus on for the adult team and the junior team. It's the focus before you even get here, and it's just about learning the patterns up until that point, and this is what they're focused on. That's why you're going to see some different stress and tension levels. It's interesting from that standpoint.
There's nothing like the team atmosphere, and nothing like turning around and having all your teammates and your coaches right behind you for every shot, good and bad. And right now, things not going so well.
And right now, Team USA looks to be down about 20 pins, 2 marks anyways. Yeah, 23 pins up on the scoreboard, so it's still easily within reach. We haven't even finished the 3rd frame, but you'd rather be out to an early lead and relaxing and loosening up that swing than feeling like you got to double every chance you get up there.
Definitely a lot of real estate in this team event. 4 players, 10 frames. We're not even halfway there yet. A lot can happen. Of course, the back half of the game, we saw Japan. They rallied huge in the last game of qualifying to sneak around Sweden, Finland, and USA. And maybe capitalizing on that momentum now. But we've seen momentum swing back and forth. It's been a roller coaster of a week.
Yeah, I remember here in Hong Kong just a couple of years ago with the Women's World Championships, and Team USA got on a roll somewhere around the 5th or 6th frame, and as a team struck about 15 times in a row. And even though the game wasn't over yet, it really felt over. Everybody in the building knew that was it. They just kept striking. So you can start in about the 5th or 6th frame and start stringing strikes as a team, and just the adrenaline pumps, and you just have the confidence, and you're not going to let your teammate down and throw a good shot. So I would say these are both still well up in the air.
Well, USA right now down, looks like 24 through 3 frames. And Anderson stepping up for Sweden now in the right lane, working on a double.
And another 10-pin, Mary Wells. We're seeing a lot of 9 counts right now out of that match over there on the short pattern. In fact, 4 in a row for the U.S., 2 in a row for Sweden. And no 9 count there. Tough washout. Seen that twice over on that lane. Sarah Locker left that same washout in the 1st frame. So again, a little bit of a weird hang spot there. You eke it just half a board right, and it just sits there for too long and doesn't make it back. Mary Wells covers up her 10-pin. I believe that's the pin she missed in the first frame, so that feels good to get that done and out of the way. Oh, Anderson wraps that head pin around the 10 pin on that washout and just does not convert it. It was a good shot and tough result.
Well, it certainly looks like everybody's shaking off the nerves and the butterflies a little bit, throwing some better shots here as the game progresses. That not necessarily a better shot there from Stephanie Schwartz, but it's still 9, and nine's good anytime.
Yeah, that's
in theory.
another 9 count. But yeah, that was quite high. Could have easily been a split.
All right, our other match now. Japan leading big time.
54 pins.
54 pins over Finland. Ishimoto is going to step up on lane 32, working on 3 in a row.
Stephanie Schwartz covers up that 4 pin. Or 6 pin, my bad. Another 10 pin over on lane 31 for Finland. And 10 pin for Wegner from Sweden down on lane 34.
Doesn't seem too challenging to get to the pocket at this point, but to carry the issue. Ishimoto goes light, leaves the 2-10 after 3 in a row. Denied the 4-bagger. So Neil, also the 18 games we saw this week, 6 in singles, 6 doubles, 6 team event, determine the all events winners. And we have unofficial standings here so far. The medals will be presented tomorrow. But again, Japan's Shion Izumune made a medal round in every event and averaged 213. To take the top spot unofficially. And then Team USA's Mary Wells and Liz Culkin actually went 2-3. Bowled very well. Of course, now bowling in the semifinals here. Certainly a good race. And on the boys' side, Wesley Lowe unofficially broke the all-events record. Set back in 2008.
Yeah, he started strong and didn't look back. Liz Culkin was, I think, in about 5th or 6th place, so she must have had a solid last game to jump up into 3rd. That's why I was a little surprised by that. Glad to see it, glad to hear it.
Well, Masters competition will take place starting tomorrow, the top 24 in the all-event standings. And you can check out all those standings on the official tournament website, wyc2014.com. And all kinds of good information on there, records, past winners, official standings for this year's event. And we'll have a recap tonight on bowl.com. But right now you're watching live coverage of the girls team semifinals here at the 2014 World Youth Championships. There's a big shot from Liz Culkin. She delivered a strike the other day to clinch that doubles gold medal.
Yeah, that was a solid shot there. She's thrown 3 out of 4. She left the 10 pin. Was it the 10 pin? Yeah, I think she left the 10 pin last frame, but finally struck here to stop that string of 9 counts for Team USA at 5, 6. So moving forward there. Oh, now we had the other Wagner sister. Are they sisters? We'll call them sisters. They're from Sweden, so they're Swedish sisters, I think. Anyways, there's another. It's 2 opens this frame. They had a double and 2 opens this frame. That was a tough frame for them. And now Team USA pulls up to. They're down by 15, so they gained 9 pins that frame, anyways.
Well, two of Sweden's players working on open frames here, so an opportunity for USA to pick up quite a few pins here in the 5th.
Mary Wells, once again didn't quite get the ball up on that right lane. That right lane to me shows a little topography on on the shots that are just a little long or just a touch to the right. They just hang there. Finland's starting to make a move here. They need to keep this up. They got some adrenaline going. Clean frame for them, couple of strikes. Gives them a chance to make some move, while Japan has 2 splits and 2 opens this frame.
Well, Japan strong out of the gate, but no strikes yet here in the 4th frame, just 1 in the 3rd.
Yeah, and 3 opens in these last 2 frames now as well. They're starting to add up, and that really changes the momentum. Stephanie Schwartz with a strike on lane 34.
It's a confident shot there from Shimorde. She struggled quite a bit in the doubles medal round, but they've got her in the anchor position. They have obvious confidence in her, and she delivers a strike there to keep Japan out front. But Thorell now for Sweden delivers 3 in a row after the open and keeps her team in control against USA.
Yeah, they're still up almost back to 20 pins again with that 3-bagger. Sarah Locker got her strike. So we got some chances for some doubles next frame. That'll help. And Liz Colkin has a chance for a double on her next shot. So the Wagner sisters are not on strike. So if they can stay clean and Liz can double, we'll pull back within less than 15 pins. Yeah, Finland pulled back to within 40 pins now. Going into the 5th frame. Ishimoto though pulled out the first strike of the 5th frame for them, so they're not gonna let them catch up easily.
Some of this team is very entertaining to watch, even though we have no idea what they're saying. But just pinfall, bowling, it's a universal language. And it's excitement, it's camaraderie, and it's some troublesome spare shooting.
Yeah, it's a miss by Wagner on the left lane. That short pattern, I couldn't quite see it so well, but it looked like it jumped a little bit. And you have to be prepared for that, especially when you're shooting towards the corners. Oh, and there's Japan with a split now in the 5th frame.
Strips the 4, Wagner. But USA
pulls within 3 pins.
Making moves here. Colkin on the double.
Colkin with the double, Wagner with the open. That was the difference in that frame, and now it's virtually deadlocked, and U.S. has 3 strikes, 3 chances for doubles in this frame coming up. And Mary Wells strikes as well. That's 4 in a row for Team USA.
Well, this is why we bowl 10 frames. You don't decide the match in frame number 2, and so much can happen along the way.
Yeah, luckily for the U.S. and for Finland, that's 10 frames coming up. And Anderson with a strike to answer. Keeping it 3 pins. 3-pin differential halfway through.
USA picked this pattern, the short 35-foot Beijing. They felt if they were going to have one, that's the one that they were more comfortable on.
Yeah, they bowled well on it today. They were comfortable with it. So definitely, I think, an easy choice and a correct one by Kim Terrell-Kearney. Stephanie Schwartz gets her double. Thorell's up. She's got a three-bagger going. It's a big shot for her. That was a bit high, and
9 goes late.
rolls the 9-pin late, yes.
So the crowd goes wild, and so many supportive friends and family here, and that's going to hopefully get her team fired up. Hard to see everything from where we're sitting. With,
yeah, and too many people are standing up and sitting down, you know, so even if I think I have a view there for a second, I lose it. Sarah Locker leaves a 9-pin. I'm not sure if that was a...
She went a little high, tripped
yeah.
the 4 out, so good break there. And she didn't seem upset with the final result, given where the ball entered the pins. A tight match. A split now from Wagner, so she helped Sweden rally late in the qualifying, but struggling here in the semifinals. That's what teamwork's all about, however, as Shimoide continues to strike for Japan.
Yeah, that's a double for them, and Yoshida opened in that frame, but that keeps them even for the frame. And Finland is not going to make up any ground here with 6 count split there. It's a very makeable split, though. Not that it's easy.
She's going to give it a run.
There. No, she only gets the 1.
She gets 1. She's on a strike, loses a couple pins there.
Yep, 1 is 2.
So 41 pins in Japan's favor here. Halfway through.
Halfway through. Yeah, the U.S.-Sweden team our match is almost a full frame ahead. Makes it easier for us to focus on one final than the next. Strike from Hiltonen.
There's a big double for Wagner.
Yes, Wagner gets the double. That's 2 doubles for them in that frame plus an open. So U.S. stayed clean and got a couple strikes, one of which was a double, and they pull ahead now. They were down by 3. Now they're up by 8. So through 6 frames.
So Neil, these 2 teams on the left, Finland and Japan, not liking this right lane too much. Not a good frame for Finland there. Now Japan, Ishimoto starts with a split. And that's the long pattern. 45-foot Mexico City selected by Japan, the top seed.
Anderson with a double from Sweden to start them off on the 7th frame.
Anderson matches Mary Wells, our all events silver medalist.
Ishimoto gets 2, which is on a strike. 2 is 4.
There's 3 in a row for Schwartz for USA.
Stephanie Schwartz, that's converted 2 doubles for that frame. Of course, one of them's a 3-bagger, but
Thoreau's going to have to match her here.
Yeah, if they want to stay close.
She leaves the 4.
That was key. She had 3 or 4 in a row going there. Yoshida on the right lane. Yeah, happy to get that 9 count.
She went light there. Easily could have been a 210. And that lane just giving everybody some struggles.
Jokinen with the strike. That's 2 strikes this frame. They're going to have some double chances next frame.
Another single pin miss. And you can't afford that at this stage in the game. USA rallying, and Sweden giving away pins.
Yeah, Thorell has had a great game, but all too quickly you lose it and you miss it. It's the double whammy. Liz Culkin finishes the star frame for Team USA. I say that's the tougher lane of the 2, so that's gives them four chances for more doubles next frame.
Well, Culkin certainly brings the fire, and it can be easily intimidating. But it doesn't intimidate Wagner as she gets back up and strikes on the left lane.
Tough 4-pin lead for Finland on lane 31. Jenny Wagner steps up for Sweden. She has 2 in a row, and she needs this to keep Sweden within a mark. And she gets it. So they are down, I said a mark, but they're down 11 pins. Through 7.
Well, folks, you're watching live coverage of the 2014 World Youth Championships. This is the girls team semifinals. Finland against Japan, USA, and Sweden. And we're getting down to the exciting part. And Mary Wells is excited. That's 3 in a row for USA.
Yep, the winners of these matches meet for the gold medal right after this. Pen pin for Shimode on the right lane. She had 2 in a row going into that. That match continues to hold at about 40 pins. Neither country seems to be taking a step away or step forward. So, well, the strike string ends at 5 with a baby split for Stephanie Schwartz.
Anderson and Wells going shot for shot. And Wagner and Culkin both firing up their teams in the anchor position.
And we're still sitting at about 40 pins between Japan and Finland. Japan up by 39 through 6 frames. Schwartz just picks 1 for the open. She needs her teammates to pick her up here. And a tough 5 count for Hiltonen. Thorell gets her spare. She barely clipped the 6-pin to cover that. There's a very nice shot by Ishimoto on the left lane, the better lane of the 2 on that long pattern.
Looks like Team USA up about 17 here.
Sarah Locker leaves a 7-pin. It was slightly light. Hilton then trying to cover up that 5 count. And she does not. She gets 3 of them. And again, on a strike. Each pin is valuable. Yoshida with the strike. Japan maybe making a move here, trying to pull away. They're on the good lane. They have 2 strikes. Finland has an open here in the 7th frame. They already have about a 40-pin lead. This could be the time they really pull away.
Japan the top seed, and should they advance, they'll get the opportunity to select the lane condition for the finals.
That ball looks pretty solid. There you go.
Big shot from Culkin there for the double.
Yeah, with the open net frame, Team USA got 2 doubles to help cover that up. Sweden has 1 double in now, and Jenny Wagner stepping up. She's got at least 2 or 3 in a row here. This is a big count. And she strikes as well. They gained 10 pins right there, so they're pulling. They were down about 20, now it's about 15 based on count. Jokinen with the 5 count. It's 2 5 counts this frame on that right lane, both by right-handers.
That was a mess right there on lane 32.
Yeah, that's what we call grandma's teeth, right?
But Japan certainly not taking advantage of the miscues necessarily. But still well ahead in that match.
They do have 2 strikes this frame, but also the open. This is a big one by Jokinen. If she can cover this, that'll fire this team up. Everybody's on their feet. And covers it. You got all of grandma's teeth taken out there.
Yeah, I say we have probably the worst seat in the house here, but we don't have to see what's going on. We just know by the crowd's reaction that that was a huge pickup there for Finland.
Yeah, there's a great crowd here from Finland, and they're standing up on every shot. Great to see.
Right now, Finland down about 51.
Yeah, and Shinomode with strike. They got 3 strikes this frame, but also the open. Jokinen with that spare was key, so the 5 count didn't hurt him. And now we finish off. There's a 10 pin for Finland, so they're still going to stay about 40 pins. Like I said, nobody can seem to pull away. But with those 3 strikes, Japan has a chance for 3 doubles, and that would really start to seal this match. USA and Sweden are in the 9th frame on the short pattern over on 33 and 34. Was that a Brooklyn?
That was a Brooklyn. Nice break for Thurell, and she's going to need it, of course. Mary Wells. Uh-oh.
And that
Finland.
10 pin just dropping off right before into the gutter. I've already said it this game, and I continue to see it. I've been seeing it all day.
Well, Finland down 33 now, and that's 2 or 3 single pin misses already.
Yes.
And in the USA match, Mary Wells quietly getting it done for Junior Team USA this week. Finished 2nd in all events. Slow and steady all week long, and now setting the pace here. Her and Liz Culkin, the doubles gold medalist, working on a double, and if she gets this one, she's going to erupt, no doubt. Standout at the University of Nebraska leaves a wiggly 4-pin. She wanted that one
a little high.
so bad.
She's gotten kind of deep on this short pattern. That may be a little bit too deep. She's trying to stay away from that topography issue, but that just means you got to be so dead nuts on your mark, on your spot.
Spare there for Wagner, but she lost another 4 pins on count with the 6 count.
Yes, now Jenny Wagner has a chance to put her 4-bagger up on the board.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, you're certainly getting some excitement here. The girls semifinals team event, 2014 World Youth Championships, Sweden and USA, Japan and Finland.
Japan-Finland still in the 8th frame, whereas Sweden-USA are about to enter the 10th. And an open for Finland. Japan with a double in the 8th. Pulling away.
Another great shot by Wegner. She is keeping her team in it. She just missed in all events. Finished about 13 pins away from a medal.
Yep. Jenny's bowled great all week. Now we're entering the 10th frame. Team USA has an 11-pin lead over Team Sweden. Mary Wells with the first ball in the 10th, leaving a 4-9. She was on a 4-bagger. That's critical right there.
There's no good time for that.
No.
Sweden answers. Calmly delivers the first shot in the 10th. It's time to get the calculators out.
Yep, that's exactly my plan.
So Wells with the open frame. String ends, and she finishes with 201.
Yep, she missed it all together, and again on a strike, 1 is 2, so that could easily been a 203, and in a tight match like this, I hate to see it. Anderson already has the strike. She leaves the 210, so again, not critical.
Well,
here's an example that 1 is only 1.
No doubt she probably wanted those extra 10 pins.
Yes. Not critical that it's not a 9 count or a different kind of 8 count. So she finishes off with a 210.
U.S. max score 844.
Schwartz with her second ball in the 10th. She's got 2 in a row. Leaves a 4-pin.
All right, that drops that max score. Sweden's max at this point 858. So certainly
Tight.
A nail biter on the edge of my seat here. Japan still well in front of Finland. Should Japan make it, they'll have choice of the lane pattern no matter who wins the USA-Sweden match.
And Stephanie finishes out with a 210.
USA max now 833. Sweden max 838.
Throw with the spare. She's looking at a 215 or 205, excuse me. Keeping this easily within a couple of pins. It's going to come down to Jenny Wagner's 10th frame. She's got several in a row. She's the only one that can double.
Well, that's why they're your anchor players.
Yeah.
They've thrown the big shots. Kolkin's done it collegiately. She's done it here this week. And Wagner steady all week long also.
Yep, she does get 205. Key pin count.
All right, so now Wagner's double very important here. As things continue to go badly for Finland.
Yep. Serlaka has a chance to double here in the 10th, and she does. That was a big one right there. She's a chance for 185 this game. Whereas Kaja Wagner, best she can do is 177. And she strikes.
Well, again, max score for USA 833, max for Sweden 838. So, as we said, it's going to come down to the final player.
Every pin is key. Locker gets a 8 count for a 183. Yeah, as we start talking about pin count, you know, Mary Wells with an 8 miss in the 10th on a strike. There's 8 count there. It starts to add up because we're talking pins. We're not talking marks. Wagner with a double.
Well, quite the situation here. Kolka's going to step up, and essentially she's got the pressure on her now to put the pressure on Wagner. There's really no good situation here. It just depends on your preference. And she delivers.
She delivers. Gotta like that. Steps up confidently. World Championship on the line. A trip to the gold medal match on the line.
But I'm sure she's not even looking at Sweden. She's getting up there. Her plan, deliver a strike, get every pin you can. Don't worry about the other team. You can't control what the other team is doing.
Yep.
But at this point, the pressure is going to be on Wagner. She's going to get a chance to step up in the 10th and win this for her country.
Yes, right now, Kaja Wagner is standing back. I'm not sure why. She's got another ball to throw in the 10th. I'm not sure what she's waiting for. Is she?
Oh, there's a referee.
We got something on 34 I can't see.
It's like a ball return. Everybody's waiting.
Ah.
You can see
it's
a
hard,
couple.
it's hard to bowl when you don't have a bowling ball.
There's a couple. Oh, what a time. Is this a Peterson? They're trying to ice these girls? Too many strikes. Or keeping your ball for a minute.
Oh, this isn't going to help us because now Japan and Finland are about to step up in the 10th frame.
In the meantime, though, Japan well ahead here.
6 fair for Shimode. They are up easily by 50, 60 pins. 68 pins? Or 4 pins, I mean? 64 pins.
64, they got the double, so 54 pin lead for Japan. They got to feel pretty comfortable here heading into the 10th frame.
Yeah, so it looks like Sweden is ready to step up. Wagner to throw her final ball of the match. She already has a double here in the 10th. And she delivers. That was high, but she tripped the 4-9. Comes up with her 177. So now Liz Kolkin will step up for her second ball in the 10th. She needs to put the pressure right back on Wagner of Sweden. That looks a little right and does not even make the head pin.
Sails past the head pin, the 1-2-4.
So the best they can do is 227. Or the best she can do is 227. This is a huge shot right here for Wagner. If she can strike on the first ball.
821 max for USA. Wagner. Here it is. Hits the 4.
And that is
enough.
Be your shot to move on. to the gold medal match for Team Sweden.
Big shot.
Coming from behind in the last frame. 3 strikes by Wagner, Kaja Wagner, and Jenny Wagner looking to put it away. So 8:21 is final for U.S. 8:18, I believe she needs 3 pins.
What a 10th frame. 8:21 for USA. It's not going to be enough. Jenny Wagner. Clutch shot, trips the 4, and it's enough. No doubt about that shot.
That's the nail in the coffin right there.
No doubt. Jenny Wagner gets it done. A couple of miscues along the way. She seals it, the relief for Sweden. And the defending champs will not repeat here at the World Championships, Neil.
Yep. We've been talking about that max score of 8:38, and it looks like that's what they're going to end up with. Team USA with 8:21. Solid game as well, but not going to be enough. There you go. Jenny Wagner was too much for him in this game. She shot 246. They shot 838. So she shot all the plus for the team.
Well, that is a clutch performance there from Sweden. Again, they seesawed back and forth in this match. Some misspares, some bad count, and ended up
splits and single pin misses.
So it ended up not as close as it looked like it was going to be. But there is a clutch performance. Wagner and Wagner both striking out in the 10th frame to lift Sweden past USA. Now we'll turn our attention to Japan and Finland. And this one is pretty much in Japan's favor here. We're just going to wrap it up.
It looks like 60 pins for Japan. There are only 2 more bowlers left for Finland, although they are both on strikes. So
a max score of 733 for Finland. And Japan is already just about there.
Yeah, they look to be 721. So even a couple of decent count misses by Japan. And with that split there, that seals the deal for Finland.
So it's going to be Japan and Sweden
in the gold medal match.
In the gold medal match coming up next. We'll watch the rest of this Japan-Finland game. Then we'll get the cameras situated for the final. Japan will have lane choice. Or lane pattern choice. It will either be the 35-foot Beijing or the 45-foot Mexico City. That's what they're bowling on right now.
Yeah, I would imagine Japan will choose the long after this significant lead and the fact that Sweden just won on the short and has bowled all day on the short. So
it's as much mental. I think at this point Japan was solid on both conditions, but certainly a strategic and mental advantage a little bit.
Pick something that the other team hasn't bowled on all day, something that you've won on and did well yesterday on. I'd be very surprised if Japan does not pick the long pattern. Just finishing up here, last frame for both teams.
Well, Neil, that was about as exciting a finish as you can get at this level, this stage, the biggest stage in youth bowling, the 2014 World Youth Championships. And Sweden just stepped up and delivered against Junior Team USA to earn a spot in the gold medal match.
Yeah, it turned out it was key for both Wagners, but we both knew it was going to be Jenny with several strikes going in a row into the 10th, and she finishes it off for the 246. And that was, you know, the first ball tripped the 4, and that was key. Had she not gotten that, that was over. The second ball, she just needed minimal count, and she buried that one for a strike. And then threw her 12th to finish it off.
All right, so 685 for Finland, coming up short. They struggled their last game of qualifying, snuck in to the semifinals, and just never really got any momentum going. Struggled to a 685 finish.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunately you don't like for a team to bowl their worst game during a match play like this, but that is by far their lowest game of the tournament on the short or the long. So it's just unfortunate that that's what they ended up doing here. Well, Japan has won. They've bowled 750.
Kaikki selvä. Onko se vielä tässä meiltä sitten kassilla?
Varmaan tuossa läjät on nyt kenkiäkin tulee.
Tyttöjä. Niin joo, kun nyt palkintoja jakaa.
Niin. Niin sitten tästä täytyy jo vähän vartioida jotakin.
Joo, mä jätän tän kassilla.
Tämä on jännä, kun tää saa tällainen 3. ja 4. maailman saa.
Anteeksi?
3. ja 4. molemmat saa.
No se on ajan
Niin on.
En tiedä, mitkä todelliset syyt on siinä, mutta siinä on monelle maalle se mitalli merkitsee kiinasta rahaa.
Niin, joo.
Sitä on. En mä sit tiedä, onko se oikein vai väärin. Maailma justiin se, että MM-mitallista tässä lajissa.
introduce the teams bowling in the final match for the gold medal of the team event for both boys and girls in the 13th World Youth Championships. We'll start with the girls. Bowling on lane 29. From Japan, Mirai Ishimoto, Mana Yoshida, Shio Izomine, and Kana Shimoto. And their opponent, from Sweden, Ida Andersson, Annie Thorell, Kaisa Wegner, and Jenny Wegner. Here are the boys' finalists. Bowling on lane 22, from USA, Matthew Farber, Gregory Young, Cameron Doyle, and Wesley Lowe. And their opponent, bowling on lane 21, from Malaysia, Mohamed Rafiq Ismail, Timmy Tan, Jonathan Ding, and Ahmed Muaz Fishol. Thank you, bowlers, and good luck.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 2014 World Youth Championships. We're here at the South China Athletic Association Bowling Center, and we're about to watch the gold medal match in the girls team event between Sweden and Japan. It's going to be an exciting final. If it's anything like the semifinal, Neil Stremmel, USBC Managing Director of National Governing Body, is here with us as well. Neil, here we go, off to a bang start with a strike from Sweden.
Yes, thank you, Matt. And yeah, Anderson right off the bat. It's always good to get that first one going, get everybody pumped up and behind you. And Ishimoto for Japan does the same thing. We're bowling on the long pattern. Japan is the #1 seed. Sweden was the #3 seed. They both won their semifinal matches to move up to the gold medal match here. Japan was allowed to choose the pattern, being the #1 seed. They chose the long pattern, as they did in the semifinal, where they won quite handily.
Well, we did bowl on two patterns this week. You mentioned the long 45-foot Mexico City. The short pattern this week was the 35-foot Beijing, and a nice test of versatility of players from 46 countries. More than 260 bowlers came to participate on the biggest stage for youth bowling, and these two teams have battled through 2 rounds of qualifying, 3-game sets on each pattern, and as you mentioned, the higher seed gets the choice. And Japan bowled on the long pattern in the semifinal in a win over Finland. Kind of cruised to the victory, didn't really feel any pressure. And Sweden came down to the 10th frame against the United States on the short pattern. So Japan did what you said they would do, and they picked the long pattern. They just bowled on it, and it's the pattern that their opponent didn't just win on. So good strategy there, and we'll see if that pays off. Already out to a lead here in the first frame. Very early, of course, just 4-player teams here. And I think the key to both matches in the semifinals was pin count and a few spare shots, miscues, that really cost them. Japan's match was kind of a runaway. They never felt the pressure. They, it was kind of easing into the finish there. But each of those pins really mattered in the Sweden-USA match.
Yes, we just saw Kaisa Wagner strike, and she was one who struggled off and on in that match. She finished strong with 3 in a row in the 10th, but had missed had a split and also a missed shot in that match, and she starts out with the strike. And Jenny Wagner, who was dominant in that match and through most of this tournament actually, did a great job of finishing strong with 246 that game to win and help her team move on. But she leaves a 9-pin here to start this match.
Well, Neil, I think we saw some butterflies and definitely some nerves at the start of the semifinals. I mean, again, this is almost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these youth bowlers. We can't forget that. These are just they're just youngsters, most of them, and just up and coming. And perhaps this is the biggest stage they've ever bowled on. Even cameras out and packed house, and certainly a lot of pressure for Japan. They've had a pretty good week so far. They've made every gold medal match.
Yeah.
It was Izumune actually got the silver medal in singles. Fell to Korea's Sujin Yang. And then Izumune and Shimorde lost the gold medal match in doubles to Team USA. So they're putting themselves in position. They've been slow and steady all week. And they came in here, had a big finishing qualifying to get the #1 seed. That's been crucial for lane pattern choice, and they squeaked it out. They finished 12 pins ahead of Team USA, and USA was 1 pin ahead of Sweden, and it has worked out so far to Japan's advantage. And they certainly had the momentum and the confidence, and now the extra confidence from bowling on this pattern just a few minutes ago.
Yeah, they have a slight lead already since Sweden has one open. But now Sweden has the first double of the match, so it's going to be a good match. It's going to be tight. I think it's going to come down to the 10th frame, and we'll have to see who can come through in the clutch.
Well, it came down to the anchor bowlers in the Sweden-USA semifinal, and Jenny Wagner delivered.
And Japan answers with a double of their own to pull back ahead.
Well, the coverage of this event since we arrived last week has been phenomenal. Just the whole community supporting the tournament, and as you can see in front of us, the banner with all the sponsors. And this is a major event here in Hong Kong, the Hong Kong 10-Pin Bowling Congress. Really rolling out the red carpet for all the players, and the media now turned out for this team final.
Yeah, we have the boys final going on at the same time. So we have a large crowd across the whole house. We have some cameras down on this end, some cameras down on the other end. Some of the sponsors, as you mentioned, have their executives have showed up to watch the finals of the most important match of the week, the team gold medal match for both boys and girls.
Well, you mentioned it with Team USA, of course, your affiliation at the national governing body, the ITRC at the International Bowling Campus. This is what it's all about. They want to make Team Japan, Team USA, and they want to be part of that team atmosphere. Nothing like winning a gold medal for your country, sharing that with your teammates. And really, that's why this event, I think, comes so late in the week. Everything else is a warm-up practice. It means a lot, but at the same time, this is the pinnacle of this World Championship event. Team USA, the defending champions, boys and girls. And there's a terrible break for Wagner. On the strike, gets the 6 count.
Like I said, she was up and down in the semifinal match, and she started out with a strike in this game on the long pattern here, so I thought maybe that'd be a good note for her, but she pulls this one, goes right through the face, leaves the 3, 4, 6, 7 split makeable, and she gave it a good run, but too much of a good run and comes up short.
2 and a wiggle, and increases Japan's lead. Now here's Samoide. She really struggled in the doubles semifinals and the final, and it says a lot about the coach and the team having the confidence in her to let her get back out there on the same pattern and anchor this team. And she is throwing terrific shots today. A couple of 9 counts there, but she certainly looks confident. Doesn't look rattled at all about the past. Put it behind you and move on, and here we are pulling for another gold medal.
Yeah, and that's what's unique about the World Youth Championships is you're going to have some butterflies, and it's one game, anything can happen. You get some bad breaks, and
there's another bad break back to back.
Yeah.
3, 4, 6, 7.
Yeah, the Wagner sisters not getting very good breaks there, back to back. Same split, and that's a unique split. So it tells me that something squirrely's going on with that pair. They both just yanked it through the face. And I call them sisters. I have no idea if they're sisters. They just spell their name the same. Wagner could be like Smith in the United States. I don't know.
Well, Neil, the last time Sweden saw this pattern was yesterday, the first block of team qualifying. Today's 3 games was on the 35-foot Beijing, and
their first match was on 35-foot Beijing. So this was a great choice by Japan. Puts Sweden on a pattern they haven't bowled on in over a day, and they get 15 minutes of practice. Although I think that 15 minutes of practice was closer to 25. I don't know if the stopwatch broke or somebody fell asleep at the wheel, but
another great shot by Ishimoto, and denies her the 3-bagger. She leaves the 9-pin. But Neil, also very interesting about these international events, players are only allowed to have 6 bowling balls. And there's Anderson gets it done. But they're only allowed 6 bowling balls, which with surface changes and such, it gives you some versatility there. You can certainly make one ball into a few balls based on that. But coming off the short pattern, with not a lot of time in between coming to the long, some interesting. There's one of those miscues we talked about. Anderson strikes, Ishimoto opens, and it's going to swing.
There's a 20-point swing right there between that double by Anderson and the open by Ishimoto.
But Neil, so in this situation, going from one pattern to the other with only 6 balls, what do you do to get ready in just a few minutes? I mean, you gotta refocus mentally. You gotta remember, what you did, what worked on the other pattern, and then get your equipment ready quickly to be able to perform for a gold medal.
Exactly. It's a whole new set of equipment that you're going to use on the long versus the short. They're 10 feet different in distance, which is quite large. And you got to bust out all that equipment you haven't used in a day.
Or even adjust the ones that you did use if
there is a ball that you can use on both, which usually there's one ball that's kind of a swing ball, and you got to go from something that's polished to something that's sanded. And we got a 10-pin miss where the ball fell off right in front of the 10-pin into the gutter. We've seen it multiple times in the semifinal match, and already once. We're only 3 frames in here.
Well, Japan's up 19 early.
Yeah.
And I mean, they were confident coming off of this pattern in the semifinal. They cruised to a win there, and then they were just pretty much sitting back and relaxing while Sweden had to reset mentally and equipment-wise and get focused for this match.
Yeah, only having 6 balls is a unique thing for world competition. They registered 6 bowling balls at the beginning of the week, and that's what they need to use for the week. And you're allowed to change surfaces in between games, which is unique for world competition.
Shimoide, wide right.
Yeah.
The fence.
6 count on the spare. It'll be interesting to see if that count matters 7 frames from now.
Cuts into that lead just a little bit.
And Jenny Wagner with the very light 9 count, so there's a 2-pin. trips out the 8, gets rid of that sleeper, so a little bit easier of a spare for her.
Looks like people are waking up across the world, Neil. We're getting some big numbers here.
You tried to do that the hard way, and that's just not how you should do it. You didn't get the domino effect all the way down the line, and leaves the 7-pin. Another open. That's 2 opens for Japan in this frame. They did have 1 double, but you know, it had a chance to really extend the lead and put a lot of pressure on Sweden, and they didn't do it. Sweden got 1 open and 1 double, so gained a little bit of, you know, about 10 pins back, but Japan still has the lead, but they really missed their chance to take a huge advantage right there.
All right, back to the top of the order here.
34-pin lead for Japan through 3 frames.
Ishimoto and Anderson. Anderson's quietly been on today.
She has. She started piling them on in the last match. Yeah, Ishimoto's back on the strike. She had a 9 count and missed it. I believe that was the 6-pin she left. Anderson puts that one in the pocket. It leaves a pretty flat 10-pin. Get into the pocket, as we said last match. Not terribly hard to do with decent quality shots. Just the carry is a bit squirrely, and then, like I said, this 10-pin spare has been tougher than it normally is based on topography. That ball did not make a move at all.
Lucky to leave just the 1-2-8. Could have easily been a washout too. Here's a 10-pin conversion for Anderson.
Yep, solid.
Usually, you'd expect your leadoff bowler to be kind of the firework to get things going, and I don't know if you would have noticed that Anderson had a 3-bagger.
Yeah, she had the front 3 and then left the 10-pin, so she's right there. Covered that up, which is key. Yoshida had a couple in a row before she missed the head pin on this one, so you want to at least hit the head pin, hit the pocket, so you got a chance for a double or a 3-bagger in this case. There's Thorell going high again on this left lane now, leaving the 6-10.
So, no, that's 3 shots in a row. A little bit wide to the right.
Yeah, she pulled up on that. I don't know. She fell off to the right. I don't know if she didn't slide well or if she just fell off the shot and she got a little too aggressive. But yeah, it looked to me right off the bat, and we got a bad angle here, but it looked to me that she really fired that ball down, pushed it a bit to the right, and it wasn't going to make it back. I'm a little surprised she even hit the head pin, actually. She's got to stay solid at the line, get through the ball cleanly.
Definitely a good time to relax, settle down, take a deep breath. They are winging it down there pretty good, and another open frame. And these are not challenging spares. I mean, I guess of course the situation, the stage, and the lane condition all come into play.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's Mexico City. It's WTBA 45-foot pattern. It is the hardest pattern, in my opinion, of the 12 in the bank. And we're seeing a lot of people go high here. It's maybe it's breaking down and changing a little bit. They're just not quite sure where to go. They're going high on the left lane. They're light on the right lane, and I have a feeling that there's a little bit more going on out there. Here we got another light shot on the right lane.
4 times in a row that Japan has been light, and that one finally ended worst case as Wagner picks up what I think is probably one of the 3 most challenging spares there is.
Yeah.
3, 6, 9, 10.
Yeah, that is a tough one. You got to hook it at it, but you don't have a lot of room to hook at it, and a different part of the pattern, so it's unique and tough to cover that one. Moide, see if she can do anything with this. Yeah, it looks like she pulled that one. Got two.
Well,
yeah, when
this
I said
pattern,
pulled it, I meant she threw it to the left.
this pattern generally being 45 feet, you're gonna play farther to the inside, around 14-15. Japan finding success earlier, playing farther out. Not going so well here on the right lane in frame number 4. You know, you got to regroup. What do you do at this point? What move do you make there as a right-hander to get lined up? Or, I mean, is it just a matter of slowing down? Do you move your feet? Like, where do you go if you're Japan at that point on the right lane?
Yeah, this is where the coach really needs to step in and be like, look, you guys are throwing the ball well, but these two lanes are not playing the same. And on the right lane, we're not getting there. So we need to move right. On the left lane, you know, we need to stay solid at the line, get through it, maybe even move a little bit left. So that's the difference in topography. You need to talk to them and let them know what's going on, because you're watching everybody. Each bowler may be focused on her game and not paying quite as much attention to her teammates at this point. That's, even though you want to be a team player, you don't want to let the team down, so you're focused on what you're doing, and it's the coach that needs to step in and say, look, you guys are doing a great job, but you need to make a move here and get it done. And that puts some confidence back into the players, and then they realize, I'm doing all right, but I'm just not seeing something right.
Well, we're getting to the halfway point here, and we're about dead even. This is a match, certainly. And Japan with 2 opens in the 4th frame. Sweden hanging tough, making spares.
Yeah, Japan had 2 opens in the 3rd frame as well. So at this point, they need to, like I said, they need to get that confidence back. And it does look like she moved a bit right, and she went high.
Well, after the single pin miss on that lane before, obviously you don't want to make an adjustment on the left based on what happens on the right, but sometimes when the whole other team just bowled, maybe you have to make a guess, or maybe that was just a bad shot. Always hard to tell, but also, you know, part of the role of the leadoff bowler is to know if you made a good shot and to talk to your team. Like, the lane is going to change with every shot, and it's been an entire frame since you were there. So you have to relay the message to your teammates. How is this lane different than it was the last shot you threw on there?
Yeah, and a perfect example is everybody went light on the right lane, and she just went high. So she needs to tell her team, I did not throw that ball well, or I thought I threw it good and I still went high. And that'll help the rest of the team decide if they move or if they stay where they're at. Throw with a strike. Somebody one of these teams needs to really step it up and take this match over.
Shida goes light. Very tough spare again. Now they're just not leaving anything makeable.
Yeah, they're really not in the pocket at all. It's either light or way too high, and seeing a lot of multi-pin spares here, and that starts to add up, and you start missing them, and you get in trouble.
Japan handing this one over, and Sweden taking it.
Sweden really jumping out now.
And we saw it in the semifinals, a slow start for Sweden, and then they rallied late. The Wagners both struck out in the 10th frame to get it done, and see, not an easy spare on this challenging condition.
Yep.
And that is 4 consecutive open frames for Japan. The top seed, they've been in every gold medal match, and they've fallen short. And now they're handing this match to Sweden.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time here. They need to regroup and realize that, we're not even halfway through, and there's plenty of time to pull this back out. But if they let that excitement right there after that 3rd strike in a row by Sweden, if they let that get to them, it'll be over way too quickly for Japan.
Sweden now with the momentum. They got the crowd behind them, no doubt.
And there, that's what a leader does in that position. Now we're talking about youth bowling here. We're talking about pretty young kids. A lot of pressure, bowling for a gold medal, a world gold medal. It's not something that you can practice for and prepare for. You just have to be able to deal with it when you're there. And that shot right there shows me that she's ready. Shimoide needs to do the same thing. We just had 4 opens in a row. They can get a couple of strikes here. And she does.
She mixes them up for the team double. Back on track after the pair opens. Folks, you're watching it here live on Bowl TV. The girls team final at the 2014 World Youth Championships. It's the South China Athletic Association Bowling Center in Hong Kong. A lot of history in this building. This event going back to 1990 was held here in 1996. And we are halfway through.
And we have a 6-pin lead by Sweden. Anderson, who's been solid all day today. There's another one. Exactly what they needed. That whole team went high on that lane last time. Let's see if they've all made an adjustment now.
Anderson, the workhorse, getting it done quietly. She smiled on that one. She liked it. She's thrown 6 great shots here, but Japan has to answer. And their woes continue on the right lane. Nothing different on that shot. She's actually the one, Ishimoto, who struck on that lane last time. But now the 6 count split.
She went high on the left lane, light on the right lane. We've seen that trend. It seems that everybody else has adjusted to that now. Farrell with the double. That is 5 strikes in a row for Team Sweden. Japan needs to get on board with these changes and realize where they're at and what they need to do. Oh, if you gave that a run, that was a unique way to go at that spare. That is very difficult spare. Very difficult spare.
There's a lot of numbers up on that scoreboard for Japan, and there's a growing number of X's up there for Sweden.
I think I called that number one time.
Did Jenny answer? I'll tell you what, Jenny Wegner has answered today.
And very nice segue. Very impressive.
And the run comes to an end at 5, but
that was still a good ball there by Wagner. It was a bit of a weak 10, but it was still pretty solidly in the pocket. Leaves a very easy makeable spare. And we have Japan still not moving on the right lane.
Well, still plenty of game left, but Japan working its way toward their 3rd consecutive silver medal.
Yeah, they've got a couple of double opportunities later in the 6th frame here, but Yoshida needs to cover this to get everybody back on track. She's going at it the hard way, pulls it off, but that is not the way you want to get that spare. Shimoide had that on the left lane earlier and tried to pick it up the same way and left the 7 pin. It's just not a consistent way to cover it. You want the ball to hit all 4 pins. There's another double. Team Sweden, Jenny Wagner, 2 in a row. 3 out of 4 strikes again for Team Sweden. That's 2 frames in a row. They've done that. Whereas Japan has had a couple of opens the last couple of frames. There's a double.
Steady. And I just don't know. She got it done in the doubles semifinal almost by herself and carried the team, but this is a little bit different, and she can't do all the work on her own. Shimoide's going to have to step up here, but Wegner has been great these 2 matches, And their arm swings are getting a little bit loose, you can tell.
Yep.
They're starting to have a little bit of fun. They're laughing. They're throwing terrific shots. And as soon as you can get loose, and it just makes it that much easier. There's no pressure. You're not pressing. Japan definitely is pressing right now.
Almost another split there. They needed that double to keep some sort of momentum going. But Sweden has all the momentum right now. They're fired up. Adrenaline's going. Much looser. And the Wagner sisters are continuing to move it forward. Jenny, of course, leading the way. 2:46 in the semifinal match. She's been clutch thus far in the gold medal match. Shimoide with the spare to at least keep Japan moving forward and try to hang on to some positive momentum that they have.
37-pin lead now for Sweden going into the 7th frame. And working on 2 doubles.
Yep, 3 more chances at doubles, whereas Japan has 1.
Anderson easily could have the front 6 this game.
She could.
She was good on the short. She's doing very well here on the long pattern. Delivers again.
I think she pulled that one, thought that was going to go high. It held, and she's ecstatic about it.
There's some emotion from Anderson.
Yes. And that's the kind of thing that carries over to the team and just starts a run. And they've started running the last 2 frames here. Ishimoto, finally, after 2 mystery frames of not knowing where the ball was going to go, high or light, finally gets it back into the pocket. She had started with a couple of strikes and lost it in the middle of that.
Well, we saw Japan rally in the last game of qualifying to grab the #1 seed. That gave them the choice of lane patterns the rest of the way.
Thorell had a double. That one went high for an 8 count. Yoshida working on a spare, holding on the left lane. Oh, the mystery 8-pin. That was a very good shot.
You cannot throw it any better than that, and they need them all at this point. They need to bear down, and she did. And about the worst break in bowling, they say, right?
That's what they say. Pocket 710 can be pretty brutal. Thorell covers her spare. Got to keep covering the spares and getting the doubles when you can get them.
Well, the lead's going to be about 46 for Sweden.
That one's going a little high. We've seen that split 3 times. 3, 4, 6, 7. It's a bit of an unusual split, but we've already seen it 3 times, twice by Keisho.
Back-to-back taps. Izumune, your all events winner. Throws it great as well. 9-pin, following that 8-pin. And Japan makes up a couple sticks there on the open frame from Wagner. Still down a bunch. Nearly through the 7th frame. Wagner can really put some pressure on here. She's working on a double. 3 in a row. And all the momentum. She stepped up big in the semifinal, threw a strike to down Team USA.
Well, just didn't make quite the same move there in the back end. She's really, the adrenaline's up. seemed like she fired that and tried to rip through that ball. Didn't give her enough time to get back. But playing the right line still gets her to the pocket, leaves a very easy makeable spare as opposed to some of the spares we've seen this match.
Well, we're getting down towards the foundation frames, and this match is going to be all about who can finish. A lot of pins still out there in the last 3 frames.
Yeah, we're still going to be about 41 pins. Yep, 41 pins. Got the 8, 9, and 10 left to go.
And down on the boys' side, if you're not watching, on Channel 1, Lucas Wiseman bringing you the gold medal match, the boys' team event. Rumor is Junior Team USA is going to defend its world title and defeat Malaysia, but they still have 3 frames to go. So you don't want to call it too soon. But again, USA defending champions in both team events.
Anderson with 3 in a row. She steps up again. She could easily have the front 8 right now. A couple of, I think they were both 10 pins. I know one of them was. Very solid game from your leadoff bowler.
Well, Sweden's got bookends in Anderson and Wagner today. Throwing big shots. And Japan. The strikes have disappeared.
Yes, and what they did in that semifinal match early on was covered all their spares, and then they were able to coast after that, and that's just not happening this game. They've had too many opens, not near as many strikes, and it's just really added up here and fallen behind as the frames go on.
Well, Sweden avoiding the splits, and that's been key so far. When Japan misses, they miss big.
Kishimoto covers the 2-8, but that was their only chance for a double that frame. So it'll be tough to make up any kind of pins in this frame for Japan. Unless Sweden opens, but they've already got one double.
What a week for Japan so far, though. Making the championship of every event. Izumune now looking at her 4th medal in 4 events. Still have Masters to go.
Yeah, it's very impressive, and it's just not something that happens. You know, the singles medal is just one of the toughest in the world, in my opinion. You know, 6 games, and then you get into the match play of one game, and you got to win both of those games. It's, you know, just getting there is amazing. To win it all is just very, very difficult. So the fact that she's made the finals, not only the finals, but the final match all week is very impressive.
Well, and she outdistanced the field by 60 pins.
In all events?
In all events.
Yeah. She's had a fantastic week. She's a solid bowler. I've been impressed with Japan this entire week. Looks like we have a little bit of a lane breakdown on lane 29. Hopefully that's very short-lived.
Well, it's just more time that the folks at home get to listen to the sweet sounds of Neil Stremmel and Matt Cannizzaro. Folks, you're watching the girls' final live here from Hong Kong, the 2014 World Youth Championships, the biggest stage in youth bowling. 46 countries represented, 262 players having the experience and opportunity of a lifetime to come and compete at this major event. Right now, it's Japan versus Sweden, coming down to the final 2 frames for the gold medal in the team event.
I don't know if they call my voice sweet sounds. I've been told I sound like Darth Vader on on the live streaming before.
Well, Darth, go with it. Party on, Darth.
Party on, Darth.
All right, and Wagner with the 3-6-10 conversion.
Yep. Tough spare. Making sure they stay clean. Get the doubles when you can, but cover the spares. That's key. Japan's been back in the pocket finally, but they went a couple of frames without hitting the pocket on either lane. And now with a couple of strikes here, maybe they've got some life. They really need to string several in a row to make up that 40-pin lead that Sweden has.
There's some count, but we're still looking at close to 50 pins. And not a lot of room. Shimoide. She can make it 3 in a row for Japan. This is the lane they're struggling on. That is a terrific shot.
Yeah. They've definitely figured out that lane after being light for several shots in a row on that right lane and being high for several shots in a row on the left lane. So they're back on it.
And a tough spare again. 0 for 2.
It's the first open I've seen her throw. Unless she had something weird early the semifinal match, I have not seen her miss anything makeable. So got to shake that off. Still have the lead, but if you're not careful, this is where Japan throwing 3 in a row. They have a chance for several doubles, a lot of pins to be made up. Anderson needs to step up, and she's been doing it all game, but she needs to do it again.
And she did. Great shot there. Just a 10 to go.
I think she's really comfortable in that lane because she pulled it last time and it held. So that allowed her to just relax, get that ball out on the lane, and she got that one further right and it came back and she knew it would. It's 4 in a row now for her again.
Well, Neil, in the final game of qualifying with 4 frames to go, Japan was in 5th place and looking like they weren't even going to make it. And they rallied, threw a lot of strikes there, and went around everybody to get the #1 seed. But I don't know if they have enough room here to get going. But
they have it, but they need help.
I mean, Anderson certainly isn't going to let them.
Obviously not. Thorell.
Shit, she delivers. They definitely step up and make the big shots when they need them. They did it last game in the semifinals, Wagner and Wagner.
That's true.
And
The
now
Wagner sisters were key at the end of the last match. Ishimoto with the spare. Now that Japan has 3 chances for doubles in the next 3 bowlers, let's see what they can do to put some pressure back on Sweden.
the light mixer can't get the 7 to go, but a good shot, good count. And you know, there's not one dominant player here. They're spreading it around pretty good. They're sharing the responsibility for their team. This game, Wagner's down a little bit. Anderson's way up. And it's just a very balanced team. Good bookends there.
Yeah, I agree. And everybody else contributing. You know, it's definitely not an easy pattern. It's not easy out there. And they're trying to hang in there and take the lead. But now Japan, with their first double opportunity converted, they have the chance to make up 20 more pins here as we're getting close to the end of this match. Opportunity number 2 has been converted by Japan, and you can hear the change in momentum coming from the crowd.
Well, it's been their MO today. Save it for late in the game.
That is the 3rd shot in a row that has not made it back for Jenny. She needs to realize she's a little amped up. That looked a little bit slower, but it did not make it back. And she needs to relax, get through the ball, give the ball a chance to work. And they cannot convert on the third. Shimoye leaves the 7-pin, was a little light, mixed up a little bit, but could not drop the 7. They still have the momentum as of now.
Well, Neil, looking at max scores right now, going into the 10th, Sweden 838, and Japan with a spare here 810. So Sweden still in control. Anderson working on the string. She has a possible 268 out there. That 10th frame could be huge, and that could lock it up.
Yeah, they've cut that lead, and they have 2 of them that can punch out some big strings, but yeah, Anderson and Thorell do as well, and we've seen the Wagner sisters come through in the clutch in the semifinal match. Right now it's about a 38-pin lead for Sweden. 10th frame.
Not backing down, that's it. Anderson.
That was a fantastic shot.
The player of the game. Japan's gonna need some strikes. Got 2 doubles. That is to their advantage, of course.
That looks a little bit higher. They've been light as a team on that lane a few too many times, especially Ishimoto, at least 2 times in a row. So finally she made the move, got it into the pocket, got the carry.
Almost gets the 2 rolled.
Leaves the 2-pin. That's been her worst shot of the match, but there's a lot of pressure going on right now, and she still got it to the pocket, left a easy spare. I'm sure she would have enjoyed the strike, though. She can still shoot 257. Japan's Ishimoto, 181 is her best score.
827 max for Sweden, 810 still. Prior to that shot for Japan. They can shoot 800 now.
Right,
running out of room.
57, fantastic game. Every ball in the pocket. The last one was quite light, but every other ball was very nicely placed by Anderson.
Anderson's going to call it a day. She did all she could. 257 here in the championship match.
Ishimoto gets the pin count, covers the spare for a 171.
You're looking at a, 40 pin lead here.
Yeah, at least a 40 pin lead right now. Japan has two doubles going into the 10th. Coming up with their next 2 bowlers, though. That'll be key. Thorell.
Didn't lose any count. She's on a strike, but I do not envy her having to shoot at this spare.
Yeah, and it's not like there's any pressure on her or anything, so, you know, I'm sure she's fine with that 6 count right there.
One of the biggest spare shots of her career, young career even.
Yes. Yoshida.
The polished Japanese team.
There's a momentum switch right there. You can feel it in the crowd. You can feel it last frame, and it's continuing on. Wagner and Wagner are going to have to do it again.
Just where that experience, that polish comes into play.
She attacks that spare from the left side. It's a unique angle for that spare, and she leaves the 7-pin. She couldn't have really placed it much better. She put it right on the 2-4 combination, got the 5 out, and somehow the 4-pin did not take the 7. Tough open for Sweden. Opens the door for Japan. And once again, Japan does not get to the head pin in that right lane.
Lucky to get 8 though for the count.
Yeah. Yeah, that easily could have been a 6-count washout. Like I said before, we have kind of a bad angle from here. I don't know if that was nerves or... And Wagner, the Wagner sisters are doing it again. They have not missed in the 10th in either match as of yet.
Well, Neil, if there's 4 players, I'd want on the lanes right now to try to get this done. The Wagners, as you mentioned, were rock solid in the semifinal. And then, of course, Izumune and Shimorde have been on all week long. And they've been carrying this team here. And now it is going to come down to the end of the lineup. Max score for Sweden, 795. Japan, 788. So it's going to come down to the anchor bowlers. Couldn't ask for any more from a championship match.
Wagner comes through again. Whatever momentum Japan seemed to muster up with that first strike by Yoshida in the 10th, Wagner has taken back. That looks solid.
It's like we're going to have to do some math here.
Yep, it's going to come down to the anchor bowlers.
Well, it's the biggest stage, the gold medal match, 2014 World Youth Championships, Sweden versus Japan. And that's a lot of 9 right there for Wagner. She'll finish with 178.
Yeah, she obviously, based on her score, struggled that game, but once again, pumped up the team, pumped up the crowd with her double in the 10th, key double. Izumune.
Oh, chips the 4.
And carries. That's a 4-bagger for her. We're still sitting at 788. Max score for Japan, 794. For Sweden, Jenny Wagner steps up in the 10th. She has been light.
The door's open.
In a row.
The door is open for Japan.
Japan can win this if it's in their hands. Another good shot by Izumune, a little high, 7-count, not a great count there, but 223. By Izumune.
She threw some huge shots there for Japan. Now it's on Shimorde's shoulders. They had a chance in doubles. Came up a little bit short. Here's redemption.
That mark requires Shimode to mark. They still have a max score of
785 to 783 possible. Shimode, she needs them. She gets the first one. So here's the stage, Neil. Wagner steps up. She strikes here for 783. Shimorde needs the next one and 9 to win the World Championship.
It's a big one.
And she gets it for 783.
Team Sweden has shot 783. Shimorde can shoot 181, giving her team 786. She needs this one to give her team a chance. She needs 8 to tie, 9 to win.
The biggest shot of the week coming up right here. She got the double in the 10th. That is what she needed. The stage is set.
She has not bowled all that well this game. Doesn't matter now. In a team environment, all that matters is this shot.
There's one shot for the World Championship.
9 to win.
Japan wins.
She trips.
She gets enough. She gets the break. Japan is the 2014 World Youth Championship Girls winners, gold medalists.
Unbelievable match. One pin. We talked about pin count early in the match. Her 9 count, tripping out the 7-10, leaving just the 4 pin, gave Japan the victory. Had the 7-10 stood, they would have lost by 1 pin.
She needed 9. She got 9. 784. 783. Incredible win for Japan. Devastating loss for Sweden.
Happy for Izumune to finally get her gold medal after a week of trying. Fantastic job, fantastic match.
That's 2 in one day, unofficially the all events champion as well. But came up short in singles, short in doubles, silver medals in both. And Shimoide, redemption, doubled in the 10th to give herself a chance. And she gets 9 to win a world title.
Yeah, they all came through in the clutch there in that 10th frame. Couple of doubles, and gave themselves the chance. Fantastic game, fantastic match. Congratulations
well,
to
Neil,
the girls of Japan.
You couldn't ask for more excitement in a championship match. Everybody who is joining us tonight, holy moly, that is what it's all about. Japan wins the girls team title here at the 2014 World Youth Championships. And we're going to be done for today. We'll be back tomorrow bright and early with Masters competition.
The winners of the team event for
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Yes, sir. Neil Stremmel, USBC Managing Director of National Governing Body. Neil, thank you for being here. And thanks all of you for watching today. Today's live coverage from the World Youth Championships. It's been a great day, great week. Congratulations to Japan. Again, let's take one more look at the winners as they're going to assemble. They're now celebrities here in Hong Kong in dramatic fashion. Swarmed by the media was Shimoide. What a finish. All right, well, Japan's going to celebrate now, and we're going to call it a day here from the South China Athletic Association Bowling Center. This is Matt Canizaro on behalf of Lucas Wiseman and Neil Stremmel. Thanks for joining us today here in Hong Kong. We'll be back tomorrow. That's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.
se palkitsi. Mä en tiedä miten tuo tapahtuu.